council to order. Will everyone please rise for the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. So we have a quorum, I note, Madam Clerk, with one missing. And that would be Will Kreidler.
I
Do you
confirm the
concur?
presence of quorum.
Okay. And we have an agenda before us. Any questions or comments about the agenda? I think the only thing I'd like to do is take ordinance 2026-08 and move it up to the front, the appointment of the firefighters. So we'll do that right before public comment. Minutes for the February 2nd meeting were circulated. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, anyone opposed? Okay, so passes unanimously. So, at this point, let's go on to ordinance 2026-08, an ordinance confirming the appointment of Glendale volunteer firefighters, establishing a one-year probationary period, and declaring an emergency. Chief, could you tell us a little bit about these candidates?
Sure, thank you, Mayor. Yeah, we have two candidates tonight, Aiden Valentine and William Feiner. First, introduce Aiden. Aiden originally from Indianapolis, is a recent graduate from University of Cincinnati with a degree in construction management, and he is currently enrolled in the Cincinnati State Fire Academy, the home of our old fire truck, which you'll learn about later this evening. So that's exciting. The next candidate tonight is Will Feiner. He was originally from Kirksville, Missouri, where he played college baseball. Currently living in Reading with his wife, Elizabeth. He works full-time for Contract Lumber in Mason, avid outdoorsman, and looking to get a start in the fire service. So a great place to start here at Glendale. So those are our two
Okay.
candidates tonight.
Great, thank you, Chief. So is there a motion for this ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
And is there a motion to dispense with three reads?
So moved.
Second.
So moved.
Moved and second. All right, did you get that?
I got it.
All right, so Madam Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
For ordinance 2026-08, to dispense with the three reads, Ms. Baldridge,
Aye.
Ms. Fleury,
Aye.
Ms. Rochelle,
Aye.
Mr. Pischel,
Aye.
Mr. Whitty.
Aye.
For ordinance 2026-08, Ms. Baldridge,
Aye.
Ms. Fleury,
Aye.
Ms. Rochelle,
Aye.
excuse me, Mr. Pischel,
Aye.
Mr. Whitty.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, with that, could you look at the two candidates, please come up to the front, and we'll swear you in.
Come on up.
Which one's the baseball player? Okay, so if you would please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do hereby swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
That I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio.
and I will faithfully and impartially discharge
I will faithfully and impartially discharge
the duties of volunteer firefighter for the Village of Glendale
the duties of volunteer firefighter for the Village of Glendale
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Congratulations, and welcome to Glendale.
Thanks again.
Thanks again.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. Next up is public comment, and it looks like Bill Parrish has a presentation.
Which emails are in?
The packet.
Oh, it's part of the packet. Hang on. Sorry, Bill, give me a
That's
second.
okay,
I'm
you
looking.
take your time.
No.
Oh, hang on, I see where it is. It's a test to see if I remember how to do this. Why are there too many remotes here?
Yeah, there are quite a few.
Oh, you're making progress. Thank you.
Okay. Function F8. No signal. Where's the input?
No, you don't need changing.
And I have to change input? Okay. I got it. I got it. Come on. Okay. Come on. I hit duplicate. Should be projecting. See, you said I didn't need it.
I did, I said what I said.
I printed it, we have some tape.
I printed a two page, nobody will be able to see it.
Oh, no. I scanned it.
Mm.
Just looked at it.
I did print it. If we can't get this up, I can send
Maybe
this
there's
out.
leaders.
No, we're solving it.
Got it?
Okay.
There we go.
There we go.
It's a
Early
technical
start.
problem, not a Becky problem.
Hey, but you figured it out.
That's a
You
big
solved
thing.
it.
For clarification.
That's for
Okay.
clarification.
Not a Becky problem, but a Becky solution.
All right, Mr. Parrish, take it away.
Good evening, Council. Council, I'm Bill Parrish, Executive Director of the Eckstein Cultural Arts Center. I was here in January with a bad cold, and but since that time, some things have happened, so I wanted to kind of circle back with Council to make them aware of what's coming, and just kind of keep you abreast by the time we get to June of what's going on in that. So the Eckstein Cultural Arts Center, partnering with the Landmark Church, are doing the Juneteenth celebration. What I'm really excited about is if you see in the lower right-hand corner, there's the America 250 Ohio logo. Columbus is real excited about what we're doing, and so they encouraged us to put their logo in there because of the fact that slavery and the freedom, went all the way back to 1776 in terms of, celebrating. So we thought that would be a really great idea, but it also made Juneteenth more inviting for everyone, which is our mission as the Eckstein Cultural Arts Center, is to be intentionally inclusive of everyone. Next slide. And so here's some of our signage that we used last year that's going to be a part of this year. That sort of leads you up to the up to the landmark space. And we thought it was important that people sort of not feel lost because not enough signage. So we did maybe 10 of these that lead you around, and we're going to use those again this year along with some other signage. Next. And this was last year. We had just a plethora of people on our tours. Many of them came from Wyoming, surrounding communities, even Hartwell, families bringing their kids. So it was very, very exciting to that. And of course, we have Megan Johnson, who's a 4-time descendant of John Van Zandt, who is Underground Railroad hero in this area, and she led most of the tours. I did a lot of the driving around through the community, but people really enjoyed her sharing the story. Next slide. Freedom Journey, this is huge for us. We partnered with River Roots, who are going throughout the state, putting emphasis on these Underground Railroad journeys and trying to connect people from different communities. So from here, many other people who were on the Underground Railroad, the next station was Springboro. So in the last 5 years, we've partnered with Springboro, and they're very excited about our connection from here, sending people to Springboro as the next stop. Now, there's other places along there that you can go, but the next stop is Springboro. So now we're web savvy. We haven't gone officially yet, but by the time June comes, then you'll be able to do GPS, the whole thing. If you want to go on your own, you'll be able to do it. But we're encouraging people right now to do tours because we're able to get families and all of that in. Next. Then we have this Songs on the Road to Freedom, which is a North and South program that we're doing, songs from the South and songs from the North. There's 10 songs, and it's going to be a really huge program that we're going to do at Landmark Church. Next. These are our partnering groups right now. Springdale is still where I've got a presentation to make to Springdale next week, and so we hope their names are going to be in there as well. But we've invited the surrounding communities to partner with us because Landmark and Glendale is just kind of central. Everything's close. Next slide.
You have about a minute.
Now the key sponsors, this is really a big deal for us because we were able to get one of our main sponsors is Fifth Third Bank, Gorilla Glue, and then we have other sponsors. United Dairy Farmers have partnered with us in the last few years among these other sponsors, but we haven't approached Glendale sponsors yet because we want to raise the money that's going to finish doing that through the sponsors that we have, and then we want to ask Glendale businesses to just be a part of this in name only. So their names will be a part of this list of key sponsors. Next. So here we are. I wanted to bring this again tonight because in January, I offered up this declaration for the village to make this holiday, make a declaration towards that. And I wanted to come again tonight to just add that this 250-year logo is huge to our invitation when we start publicizing it. But we would really like for Glendale to make this declaration so it makes it easier for us to engage the entire community and the surrounding communities. So thanks for giving me the time.
Thank you, Mr. Parrish. Is there anyone else that wishes to address council?
Good evening. My name is Glenn Parrish, 100 Washington Avenue, Glendale, Ohio. I'd like to address my comments to the council, specifically, not management, not administration, but to council, because you represent the citizens of Glendale. And I appreciate, and I've told you many times, I appreciate your service. That being said, everyone knows that since I purchased the property at 100 Washington Avenue that there has been a dispute of property lines. That is still ongoing, but the other thing is that in the beginning, I always said that I wanted to acquire the property that is owned by the village of Glendale that has been sitting vacant for the last 13 years. Nothing being done, no plans, no income. We can continue to bring these tax levies over and over again. But this tax levy that we just approved that will bring in $640,000 each year, that's a drop in the bucket as to the economic growth that Glendale needs to grow. I requested that the village come back to me and give me an offer as to what I can do to acquire the property. Since I brought that forward last May, 10 months ago, I have had no interaction with the village. I initiated a civil action in which I sent a letter to the administration, and I still haven't had any response except to say that they did receive it. They've known all this time that I've wanted to do what I want to do. But for some reason, our neighborhood that I grew up in seems to be a distant thought to this council. I don't believe that is the mindset of all of council members, but I think that we need to be proactive in making sure that our village grows. You've been able to see a lot of real estate and houses change hands. I've watched it for the last year, but it's only changing houses. It's bringing people who want to make a profit, but you're not bringing anybody who just wants to stay and grow a family. And that's what we need. We need an economic boom in this village if we don't want to just die. I've always known that a drowning person does not get to choose who saves them. It would be a fool to be drowning and have someone come by in a canoe and you reject them because you're waiting for a yacht. The canoe is here.
You have about a minute.
What I would like for you to do is I would like for you as council members and some of my neighbors who I know walk up and down Washington Avenue past my house every day. If you want change in this village, I implore you to get involved so that we don't let this opportunity in these days to pass us by. I don't care who saves us. I just want to be saved. And I think that you do too. And if you love this village like I do, I think that you will engage with the administration to let's just make some changes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Parrish. Is there anyone else that wishes to address council? Mr. Parrish.
My name is Kevin Parrish, along with my two brothers today. It's amazing that all this time I come to council, then this is the most people of color that I've seen at council meeting in quite a long time. But anyway, I'm here to address issues of council. You guys had a council summit some time ago where the solicitor informed you guys on a legal basis of what your job titles and responsibilities and duties were for the positions that you hold. I'm disappointed that you guys were not good students. I presented questions to this council about the corruption, collaboration, and just misinformation about the Phase 1 sanitary sewer project to you guys. And for quite some time, you guys have not addressed this. I've named the mayor, the current mayor, Mr. Bessel, as part of that conspiracy, along with Instrafoam, a company, a contractor, and Televac also. But also I must include the past administrator, Wally Cordes, and ex-mayor Lofty as part of this conspiracy on what I have brought to this council as a problem that you haven't even addressed. You have to address it. That is your responsibility, and if you don't, then you can get your legal counsel to clarify that for you. Also, I'm disappointed that in a couple council meetings ago, the mayor, being discombobulated, went into executive session at a public meeting. It was not on the agenda, and you went into executive session. Came right back, and the next month he got discombobulated and he went into executive session again. That's not legal, and I asked you, did you know it was legal or wasn't? Evidently, you weren't aware of the Cleves decision by Judge Winkler as to the Open Meetings Act. But more disappointing than that is that when you guys came back on the minutes, you approved the minutes with no corrections. None. Twice. You accepted the minutes, didn't mention the executive meetings. How do you do that? That's not correct minutes, is it? You say it is because you voted unanimously. The illegal acts that you perform here is just a part of the level of racism that has influence on you guys. I mean, I understand this is all scripted and you read your script, but when you get discombobulated, you're not improv people. Wally was. But you guys are not equipped to lie fluently under pressure. We have a racism and hate issue going on here. And you say you have strong leadership, but the mayor, you've had more than enough opportunities to address the hate and racism in this village. You have had 2 incidents at the bathrooms in the Black Park, you call it Washington Park, that happened in the bathroom, and you have been closed mouth about it. You had another incident on the black basketball court, and you've been closed mouth about it. 2 incidents at the black school, and you've said nothing about that. And when you guys had the vigil about the neo-Nazi resident that's your next door neighbor, you took a sick day. You didn't even show up, and you've said nothing about that. Matter of fact, ever since that incident, we haven't seen Miss Mancinco at all. And you said nothing about her absence. She was the vice mayor, wasn't she? But then again, she was part of the welcome party that came and welcomed the neo-Nazi neighbor that you had. So you say that's strong leadership? I come here every month to show the people that I represent what strength and courage looks like. It's at this podium. I come before this administration to denounce the lies and corruption and misrepresentation you have of this village, and I will continue to do that. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Parrish. Anyone else wishing to address council? Seeing none, we'll move on with our agenda. So for the mayor's report, there were no deaths reported, no births reported, and we see no upcoming events. So there really is not much to report. We will be starting street work this spring. I think David has some information about our submittal to or our bid process for contractors. The engineering work is mostly done. Other than that, there's nothing else to report. So, David, would you please give your admin report?
Certainly, thank you, Mayor. Circulated a copy of that to everyone by email, and then a physical copy here for you in front of you tonight. The transfer of the 1999 Freightliner pumper has been completed. It's delivered to Cincinnati State. They're very excited to have it, and we'll be organizing an event here likely this week to get some photos and just have a little bit of a PR meeting, get everybody in the same, I guess, parking lot, not so much room, but parking lot. We'll discuss this tonight as part of one of the ordinances, but at this point, the Village and Bethany School have suspended our discussions towards establishing an SRO. We are looking for, as part of the ordinance, reduction in the general fund budget. That will leave us with a very, very slight surplus as of right now in the general fund. The brush collection and leaf collection schedules are going. We're doing leaf collection now. Weather makes that a little difficult, so if we do need to extend that out, we will. But we're starting those schedules. We're planning on starting brush once leaves are wrapped up by mid-month, and then that'll continue through September. And then, as the mayor said, that last week signed the agreements with SORTA for the Metro Transit Infrastructure Fund. That is the $1.18 million grant that the village received for the repaving of Fountain and Ivy Avenues. Those projects will go out to bid likely in the next week or two, and then we'll have an opening and likely, depending on the schedule, probably have a need for a quick special council meeting to review and approve a contract, just with the gap that we have in April for that. So we'll look at that as we get the bid timeline finalized, but very much on schedule to have that work started and completed this year and get it started this summer. So very excited to get that underway. And then, of course, the speed study was sent to ODOT to evaluate the reduction. We haven't a speed limit reduction on Congress to 30 miles an hour. Have not received a response from ODOT as far as a decision yet, but we'll stay in touch with them this month and see what their feedback is. So unless there are any questions, that is my report.
Okay, very good. Unusual for a minute, but I want to jump back to something. In the public comment, Mr. Parrish can come and say different things about me and unfounded. But there were some call out of council, which I don't appreciate. The council is not racist and the council represents everyone. But there was specific call out about two people who are not here. And Nancy Maseko is not present because she did not run for office again after 2 terms and doing very good work here. She decided not to run. That's why she's not here. She's not mysteriously absent. And I don't want her portrayed in a bad light or like there's something wrong with her. I think that's absolutely ridiculous, and it shows that some people don't keep up with current events. So it's widely known here, and I think throughout the community, Nancy just simply did not run. And there was a comment that she is racist or was part of a welcoming committee for some sort of... Nancy helped organize a peace vigil that was held in the village, and I just want to say that about her. And her and other caring people did that. So she was not whatever this reference is to a welcoming committee. Also, Mr. Cordes served the village for many years as our village administrator for a time, and then came back and served another 2 or 3 years and served the village well. I don't think Mr. Cordes was a liar, as was insinuated. So we normally don't react and respond to statements that are made that are unfounded, but I especially just want to address that when people are not even here to defend themselves. I think it's inappropriate to not make a correction for something that's just an invalid statement. Okay, enough of that. The committee reports then, Madam Clerk, if you would call those.
Certainly. Finance Committee, Mr. Kreidler reported that there was no meeting held in February. Also, no meeting held for the Fire Committee, but Chief Lerman, do you have a report?
I do, yep. So thank you. I circulated my monthly report early this morning to all of you. You should have received it. Will and I were back and forth in an email chain about potentially holding a Fire Committee meeting at the end of the month for mainly 2 items. One, I would like to give a presentation on the fire department's year-end report for 2025 to Fire Committee. and then also potentially propose a new standard layout for the fire department monthly report. So there's some things that I would like to put in that report that just kind of highlights what we do on a daily basis a little bit more than I think the current one does. So I just want to have that conversation with the fire committee and then make any recommendations that they have for that report. So those are the two big ticket items. And then I want to talk about our 2 CPR trainings that we held in the month of February. 2 really good mornings of training. Dr. Leach was the lead instructor for that with a couple of our firefighter EMTs that also assisted that. But one success story that I wanted to share, particularly with council, is we had a few folks, residents, that came back for the training. They thought it was such a good training the first go around that they felt that there was a little bit they wanted to brush up on, so they came back, which is fantastic. But one of the success stories is one of our residents last year took the CPR class, actually performed CPR on someone who went unresponsive and saved that person's life because of the training that they received from our members of our fire department in that class. So
That's great.
they wanted to come back to share that story, which I think was fantastic. I'm not going to give that resident's name out, but you may know who they are. But they were so proud of that event to come back to share that story, and we're happy that they did. So with that success of that, we're going to continue these free CPR trainings for our residents, and anyone that wants to come to these trainings is open to outside our community as well. So just a fantastic story, a fantastic training, and just definitely a value-added piece from our fire department to our community. And that is all I have.
Do you have dates for any upcoming trainings yet?
We do not yet,
Okay.
but certainly make sure those get circulated well in advance. Yep. Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you. Laws and claims, please.
Laws did not meet, but I would like to schedule a meeting for March. And if Will were here, I'd have us all take out our calendars, but yeah. Yeah.
We can do that offline.
Yeah.
Okey-doke. Parks and Recreation, please.
Parks and Recreation did not meet this month. I will just update everybody that I attended along with Mr. Lumsden and Mr. Pischel the annual meeting of the Connecting Active Communities Coalition, which is the group that's been working on the Triangle Trail. A lot of positive movement. All 14 communities located on the Triangle Trail have now signed resolutions of support like we did a few months ago. All were present at the meeting giving updates. David gave the update for Glendale, which is just really good. It's a really strong piece of being successful in applying for funding whenever the time comes that Glendale would be ready to make some movement. In addition, Springdale and Forest Park were there, even though they're not located on the Triangle Trail. They already have some trails in their communities that they want to connect into the Triangle Trail, so they're sort of asking to be a part of it. But there were people from the county level. State senator was there. ODOT was present, updating us on some things going on regionally, and then OKI, regional representatives. So lots of good movement on that.
Good meeting then. Who was our state representative there?
It was Senator
Steve Wilson.
Wilson.
Steve Wilson. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, who was an avid trail supporter and has actually walked from Cincinnati to Cleveland on the trails. He leads the Trail Caucus, and it gave me something to add to my bucket list.
There you go.
Actually, Ohio has more trails than any other of the contiguous 48 states. It's amazing. I did not know that, but
Cool.
yeah, it's really neat.
Okay.
Excellent. Police Committee, please.
We did not have a need for a police committee meeting, but I know the police chief has his monthly report.
Okay.
Good evening. On our report, you will see that there is a fraud with no value attached to it. We were actually contacted by a resident who was contacted by a law enforcement agency out of Pennsylvania. Someone was selling an exotic car in Pennsylvania. They got suspicious of the buyer, contacted their local police, who then researched our resident, contacted them and said, "Are you trying to buy this?" He said no. He was able to prevent any money from being withdrawn from his accounts. So that was good.
Good.
P.O. Barnell, very active. This month, recovered a stolen vehicle on a traffic stop. The driver fled from him, but he was able to detain 4 others in the vehicle. There was a gun seized from that vehicle. The vehicle was stolen out of a neighboring jurisdiction. He also recovered another gun after a disorderly conduct encounter with a male party on Church Avenue who was attending a party there. Lieutenant Barber assisted in locating and the arrest of 2 shooting suspects from a surrounding jurisdiction where a juvenile was shot at a convenience store. And with the use of flock cameras, the vehicle was found to be around our jurisdiction, eventually stopped and subject arrested in the neighboring jurisdiction, along with the actual firearm used was recovered. Sergeant Davidson is now a shotgun instructor for us. That gives him 2 of the 3 instructor certifications to take over the range from myself. Dorian Eaton, P.O. Eaton, attended a course on advanced patrol tactics. Lieutenant Barber, P.O. Manning, and Police Officer Ryan attended a course in human and animal violence, what the link is between those 2. And our newest officer, Tony Den, continues his field training and is progressing well, and he'll be a great asset to the police department.
Very good. Thanks, Chief.
Thank you. Public buildings and historic preservation, please.
Public Buildings met on February 26th. We did some quick onboarding for our new committee members, including myself. As an update, as the village works to improve communications, happy to share that very shortly we will have a new updated audio system for our town hall meetings. This is in collaboration with the ICRC. So this is not only for members physically present to better hear each other and the speakers, but also is a great opportunity and equity for any virtual attendees as well to be able to really participate there and hear the conversations that are happening in the room. Very slightly under budget is the quote that we got, again, through our partnership there. Primary purpose of the meeting was to discuss the insurance risk assessment, and no decisions made yet, but we will be doing discovery or into options for electronic badge access into public buildings as a response to that risk assessment.
Thank you. Streets, public improvements, and lights.
We did not meet in February, but I anticipate we will be meeting towards the end of March, early April.
Thank you. Utilities, please.
I expect to have a utilities meeting this month, March. Amy and Jeff, and primary focus being on our electronic billing issues. So I'll get together with you and plan a meeting.
Okay.
Thank you.
We have the Finance Director's report.
On February 23rd, I distributed the financial packet for January, including the reconciliation electronically. No one was okay with not having additional papers sitting here in front of them. So again, if that changes, please let me know. We did receive on the first advance from Hamilton County $865,000 of our advance, expecting to receive a little over $200,000 on March 10th. It'll come a couple days after, but that's the next advance we had requested. The IPA will be here next week. I don't know how long they're going to be here. We've had some email correspondence, but not anything in person or on the phone, direct conversations. I did also distribute the unaudited financial statements for 2025, so that's one of the pieces that in 24 they'll be auditing when they're here. And that's about it.
Okay, thank you. Any questions about anything you received in the financial packets, the financial reports? Okay.
Do we need acknowledgement of receipt?
Yes,
Yes, please.
Okay, so is there acknowledgement of receipt of the financial reports from.
And reconciliation.
And the reconciliation from our finance director.
Yes.
Okay.
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Okay, everyone received?
Yes.
Very good. Did anyone not receive?
No. Could I just make one comment?
Yes.
I would like to thank our finance director for very clear, very comprehensive, and very user-friendly reports. I have
Thank you.
I have been other places where understanding our current financial picture was not nearly as easy.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I appreciate what we get in the product from our finance director.
Thank you for that, Jeff.
Thank you.
I agree. Very well done. So thank you, Denise. All right, moving on then to new business. We took care of our first ordinance for this evening. The next ordinance is 2026-09, an ordinance authorizing amendment of the 2026 appropriations of the general fund. David, would you please explain this one?
So as I explained in my report, the village and Bethany School have hit pause on our efforts to establish an SRO. They made some internal decisions and changes that led them in a different direction. We had a conversation about it, very understanding of their decision and their process. We'll continue to support them any way that we can through first responders, administrative support, whatever that may be. But given that change, there was an appropriation in the general fund for $161,300 for the SRO for this year. With that not taking place, we are adjusting those down. And if Denise has anything to add about, Stephen has anything to add about the need to do that, welcome to add. But yeah, we're just basically removing something we're not going to use from the general fund budget.
Just if it's something's unnecessary, we're obligated to remove it, so we know we're not going to spend it, so it shouldn't be remaining.
Shouldn't be there. Very good. So are there any questions about this ordinance? Okay. Go ahead.
What are the other two changes in operating and capital?
So the operating was uniforms and a few just sort of general supplies, and then the capital was the cruiser.
Okay, so these are all three related to the SR.
That totals the
Correct.
161.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Correct. Yep.
Thank
Yep.
you, thank you.
That's to all three. So is there a motion for the ordinance?
So moved.
Second?
And is there a motion to dispense with 3 reads?
So moved.
Second.
All right, Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
For ordinance 2026-09, to dispense with the 3 reads, Ms. Baldridge,
Aye.
Ms. Fleury,
Aye.
Ms. Verchel,
Aye.
Mr. Pischel,
Aye.
Mr. Whitty.
Aye.
For ordinance 2026-09, Ms. Baldridge,
Aye.
Ms. Fleury,
Aye.
Ms. Verchel,
Aye.
Mr. Pischel,
Aye.
Mr. Whitty.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to ordinance 2026-10, an ordinance authorizing amendment of the 2026 appropriations of the village plan and general improvement fund. David, I'll let you walk us through this
Okay.
one too.
Thank you, Mayor. This ordinance has 2 amendments to the VPGI budget for 2026. The first is actually a reduction of $10,000 in the fund specifically for the purpose of purchasing the brush chipper. We were able to get that piece of equipment to meet our specifications for a little over $88,000. We anticipate maybe a little bit more for decals or lighting, but we are coming in under the originally estimated $100,000 for the purchase of that piece of equipment. So that's pretty exciting development and reduction in cost. The second change is an addition of $7,000 to the purchase of the Public Works Director vehicle. Try as we might to buy a car and tools and everything we need for it for $35,000. Unfortunately, there just isn't anything out there that's going to be functional long term for that vehicle. So we are increasing it $7,000 to cover the increased vehicle cost, as well as toolbox, lighting, decals, those sorts of things. All in all, though, the takeaway is that we are reducing the overall VPGI budgeted amount for, as of now in 2026, by $3,000. So we're still coming in under what we had originally budgeted for VPGI for this year.
Okay. Questions?
Question,
Yes.
David, on the, I remember talking about this during the finance committee, meeting at the end of the year, the Public Works Director's vehicle,
Mm-hmm.
is it truck?
Mm-hmm. It's a pickup truck.
Okay, and is it the same kind of truck and that's just increase in price, or he wants a different truck, or, 7,000, I'm kind of curious about that.
So right now, there's the position of the Public Works Director, and then there's the position of the Streets, or Service Superintendent, and Utility Superintendent. The Service Superintendent has a vehicle, and the Public Works Director has a vehicle. The Utility Superintendent does not. Now, these positions are on call, so there's the expectation that they will be in the village and available to assist with any kind of emergency situation. So those vehicles are provided and have been historically for those similar positions for that purpose. The approach that we're taking is that the current Public Works Director vehicle, which is a 8-foot bed pickup truck, full-size pickup truck, would be essentially handed down to the Utility Superintendent, and then the truck we're planning to purchase, which is smaller, more fuel efficient, easier to drive on some of our streets, would be for the Public Works Director to replace the truck that has been handed down to the Utilities Department. 2 or 3 years ago, we purchased a new pickup truck for Tom Aldifer on the service side. We purchased that truck for $28,000. $28,000 will not get you a truck these days, at least not one like that. We're seeing anywhere from about 36 to 39,000 for something. We were able to find a courtesy vehicle, so it does have a little bit of sort of between dealership mileage on it, but it is a new vehicle, so we have full warranty coverage and everything. But unfortunately, just price of the vehicles just don't align with
And
the
is
original
this an
budget.
additional vehicle in the fleet of vehicles?
Yes, it would be an additional
Our
truck.
insurance, it also increases and everything.
Yeah, it would be a small increase for the insurance.
And how many
rate.
vehicles do we have?
I can send a full list. I don't have the number off the top of my head, but we have a good number of just pickup trucks for random jobs, right? The department's work. We also have a number of large dump trucks. We have 4 large dump trucks that are used for a variety of things, including like snow removal and those sorts of projects. So.
Thanks.
Okay, any other questions? David, is this truck equipped pretty much like all the other work trucks that we have?
It's a standard issue. I mean, yeah, it's a generally equipped from the dealership. Now we will be adding a toolbox and a lighting and decals and those sorts of things, which is typically how we operate when we purchase it. We purchase a vehicle.
Okay, very good. So is there a motion for this ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Is there a motion to dispense with 3 reads?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
For ordinance 2026-10, to dispense with the 3 reads, Ms. Baldridge.
Aye.
Ms. Fleury.
Aye.
Ms. Rochelle.
Aye.
Mr. Pischel.
Aye.
Mr. Whitty.
Aye.
For ordinance 2026-10, Ms. Baldridge.
Aye.
Ms. Fleury.
Aye.
Ms. Rochelle.
Aye.
Mr. Pischel.
Aye.
Mr. Whitty.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, so that ordinance passes. Next is ordinance 2026-11. An ordinance authorizing the village administrator to enter into a purchase agreement with Vermeer Heartland for the purchase of a Vermeer brush chipper and declaring an emergency. So this was referenced in a prior ordinance. David, would you please give us any additional information here?
Thank you, Mayor. State law dictates that for purchases over and above the bid threshold, which is about $79,000, that 2 things must take place: that the purchase must be, or the item, the cost of that item must be publicly bid, and also that council must have an accompanying ordinance authorizing the purchase of that item. For this chipper purchase, the first requirement of a public bid is satisfied by the fact that we are purchasing it under a Sourcewell cooperative purchasing agreement. Those on council when we did it, might remember that the Summit Park Playground equipment was purchased under a Sourcewell contract. It's a very competitive group sort of bid rate that this group out of, I believe out of Minnesota, goes to a variety of vendors throughout the country and bids collectively products that municipalities typically purchase. Vermeer, being the manufacturer of the current and the new chipper, being one of those companies, and offers a discount somewhere between 10 and 15% off of MSRP for municipalities that are using and members of Sourcewell like the village is. That being satisfied, now we're on the second requirement, which is that there is a piece of legislation from council authorizing the purchase at the price that has been provided to us. So that brings this ordinance.
Okay. So is there a motion for the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
And is there a motion to dispense with 3 reads?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. And are there any questions about this ordinance?
So it looks like we're coming in a little lower than what we had originally set aside for it. And that's partly why, it was helpful in terms of the public works vehicle also to be able to even that out. But I know we've been talking about this for a while. It will cut down on the amount of time involved with picking up the brush and people involved with the job and all of that, so.
The big benefit of this is that being a new piece of equipment, we will have fewer maintenance headaches as we do with the current 19-year-old chipper.
Yeah.
It is essentially the same piece of equipment. There's really not much at our price point that you can do differently. You start looking at 6-figure items that have the crane and the hook and the claw, and they can do all kinds of fun things. But this is a pretty much standard issue brush chipper. The benefit, of course, being that we are moving on from our almost 2-decade-old piece of equipment, which is a pretty impressive service life for this kind of machinery. So very happy to get that many years out of it, and are looking forward to a similar lifespan with this new one.
So we're basically replacing the same type of thing we already have, so it wouldn't change a lot about the service.
Well, it'll work.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll break his
Fewer interruptions is the goal, yes.
And I
Less
think
smoke.
We'll
Yes.
have the old one will be used as a backup in the event that this one would need service.
Yeah.
So it will help us be able to continue to operate if there's a service requirement in the middle of brush collection.
Yeah, we'll still maintain and keep the old one functional.
Sure.
We're essentially at a point now where, whenever that day comes that there's a repair that's just too large, then we won't have, we will not be out of a piece of equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And this is essentially an attachment that goes onto a.
Yeah, this is a trailer that attaches to, actually it's a village's leaf collection truck. The blue box will be used as the box for brush chipping collection. So
Because it's a bigger box.
it's a little bit bigger of a box, and that truck is a lot easier to navigate and drive, especially on some of our narrower streets.
Are we prepared for a preventative maintenance schedule for the new chipper, and will we be doing maintenance now on 2 pieces of equipment?
So the new chipper will be getting the lion's share of the effort. So yes, as far as preventative maintenance, that's something that the department is very familiar with the previous outgoing chipper. So yes, they're very capable and prepared to manage what is essentially the same piece of equipment they've been managing for about 20 years. As far as the old chipper is concerned, we'll make sure that it gets exercised and used to keep it functional. But like I said, when the time comes for it to need a substantial repair is when we'll look at the sort of the balance of value, right, of whether or not to shell out for something like that.
And are there best practices, like how are we communicating with our residents on ways that they can kind of like support maybe not having an unintentional damage, or what is there any change to what can be put out with the new chipper?
We put out mostly the same information every year. We use the email newsletter, we use our website. We do have door tags that we're starting to put out for folks who have brush piles out that we can't collect, whether they're like intermingled with leaves, whether there's maybe a foreign object like a tool, or it was a piece of rebar in a brush pile a few years ago. Those sorts of things. But we're also going to continue the small pile. We're not collecting small piles. So we do offer free lawn and leaf bags at the village office for residents who are interested in, I call them campfire size piles. Anything larger than that, the chipper will collect. But no, we will continue to notify residents and provide, if there are questions or issues with, pile gets missed or questions about scheduling, we'll follow up with them as needed, definitely.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I thought the Friday newsletter was excellent in terms of what is appropriate to put out, size and scale. If it's a pile that can fit in a leaf bag, a standard leaf bag, or your garbage can, that's what you should use. You always see the too large diameters, so you gave a diameter, basic, and no root balls; those don't fit. So I thought you did a good job with that.
Thank you.
But we need to continue that throughout the season so that people. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Any other questions about this ordinance? All right, Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
For ordinance 2026-11, to dispense with the 3 reads, Ms. Baldridge.
Aye.
Ms. Fleury.
Aye.
Ms. Rochelle.
Aye.
Mr. Pischel.
Aye.
Mr. Whitty.
Aye.
For ordinance 2026-11, Ms. Baldridge.
Aye.
Ms. Fleury.
Aye.
Ms. Rochelle.
Aye.
Mr. Pischel.
Aye.
Mr. Whitty.
Aye.
Thank you.
Ordinance passes, and with that, unless there's other things council wishes to discuss, we could take a motion for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
We don't have resolution 2026-15?
We do not. We
Okay.
pulled 2026. I think a new packet was circulated without that.
Okay, I
Like to
must have
take
printed
that-
this too soon.
You're well prepared.
Okay,
We thought it would be a good idea to have that go through the finance committee, and also it was mostly financial related, and our finance committee chair is not here.
okay.
So we're putting that back a little bit. There was nothing so urgent that we had to pass that tonight in that
Okay.
resolution.
Thank you.
Consider it.
Okay?
So we still need a second?
Yes.
We need a second
Second.
to adjourn. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.